Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Peluso, and on this episode of One Very Hungry Soprano, I'm doing brunch because it's Saturday and I'm starving, and this is my favorite brunch ever. Red peppers, potatoes and eggs. So we're going to start by slicing up our potatoes because I want them to cook really fast, because I can't wait for potatoes when I'm hungry on a Saturday morning. You could use a microwave, but you know, microwaves are kind of banned on cookery shows, and I want to show you the traditional way. So we're going to parboil these potatoes for about, well, they're quite small, so probably in about 5 minutes. Now I'm using red peppers because it's a great time of year for these right now here in Queensland. You could use yellow peppers, green ones as well. Green and roasted potatoes is so yum. You've probably never done that before. It's a very Italian thing to do, is to cook green peppers really slowly in olive oil and garlic with potatoes, and then have like an egg, or if you're carnivorous, you could have some prosciutto or some Italian sausage on the side. Oh, so good. We want to cut them into slices about that thick. Yeah. Any thinner than that and they're going to be really shriveled up by the time we're done. And any thicker means that they end up being a little bit firm. And I love raw peppers, but this is not the time for raw peppers. Okay, so I'm going to get my pan. I'm using a nice heavy, wide saucepan-y type thing, cosy. Frying pan, any kind of frying pan is good, but make sure that it's got a decent base, because we're going to be cooking these reasonably slowly on a medium heat. And if your pan's a little bit thin, you know, it might start to cook them too fast, and we don't want that. Nice drizzle of olive oil. Now this is my secret ingredient for cooking red peppers, fennel seeds. I have about a teaspoon here. So I want you to just pay attention now to the sound this pan is making, because sometimes sound is a really good cue for knowing how to cook a dish. Now this particular pan with the oil, you can see that there's just enough oil here and there's just the right amount of sizzle. That's the kind of heat we're looking for, because we want our peppers to colour a little bit. We don't want them to burn, and we really don't want to be standing here for 40 minutes, which we will do if the pan's not hot enough. So go for that sizzle. Cooking is just as much about what you hear as well as what you see. So cook with your ears. Don't be afraid to add more olive oil to this pan. Now, I don't want you to think, oh, fat, can't add more oil. Don't. The oil is the best part, because at the end of this, you're going to have a pan that is literally a lovely swirling sea of orangey red pepper flavored olive oil, which you're going to be extremely grateful for once you start tucking in with some bread, or, you know, the potatoes are going to soak up all that lovely oil. Oh, it's what makes this dish so insanely good, is that beautiful pepper flavored oil. So the more oil you have in the pan at the beginning, the more of that you have at the end. And, you know, you don't eat this every day, So after about 7 minutes or so, depending on the size of your potatoes, drain them off. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let them sit here now while we're cooking the peppers. And as they do that, they'll cool down. All that steam will evaporate, leaving some lovely, dry, cooked potato that's going to really colour up in the pan when we add it. Now we're going to have garlic in this recipe, but I don't add it at the beginning. The peppers need to cook for quite some time. And if you add your garlic at the beginning, it's really brown and toasty by the end, and I want it to be more golden and soft. So I add it towards the end. Now, how much you add is up to you and who you're having breakfast with, because, you know, if it's a first date thing, kind of breakfast, who has first date breakfasts? I don't know. I didn't say that. But you know what I mean. You might not want to be too garlicky. Oh, but you know what? I love garlic and I have absolutely no problem with eating that in the mornings. So today I'm going to put 2 cloves in. Listen to that sizzle. That is about the right consistency for adding our potatoes now and our garlic. Oh God, the smell is amazing. Oh wow, 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 wow. I just want to move these a little bit out of the way because I want to get the potatoes really to make contact with the pan nice and quickly. I want them to have a lovely coating of red pepper oil to make some lovely scorched color from the bottom of the pan. And the faces of the potato, a good sunbake. And we want to leave that now for at least another 5 minutes. Now I'm going to put some pepper and salt in here now because I haven't seasoned it yet. So I like to season it towards the end. The smells, we've got pepper, chips, garlic, fennel, and fennel is so reminiscent of Italian sausages. Now, as I said, I don't eat that much meat anymore, but it gives me that same feeling, it's same Italianate sort of spiciness. So now that you've got your potatoes in, also just make sure that you put your grill on because when we do our eggs, we're going to need that to be nice and hot. My grill sings to me. Frying, humming, kitchen music. Are you making music in your kitchen? I hope so, because you should be. That's what it's for. So these have only literally been on their faces now 4 minutes or so. And look at that. Oh, gorgeous. That's what we want. Beautiful, toasty, roasty. Oh, wow. I want to make little spaces for the eggs to live. Oh, yes. Crack each egg very carefully into the gaps that you've made. Make sure that the eggs are touching the bottom of the pan though, that way they will cook properly at the bottom from the residual heat left over from when the pan was on. And now they go onto the grill. This is where it gets kind of, touch and go. Don't leave your eggs because you do want them to be set. But I've found in my experience that there is a really fine line between set and overcooked. Watch them. Unless, of course, you really like solid eggs, in which case, don't worry. Hey, look at that. See, runny yolks, set whites, glistening red peppers, and perfectly roasted potatoes. We just finish off with a scattering of rocket and our parsley and a little bit of onion, scallion, is that what they say in the US? Scallion, spring onions. Gorgeous. I'm gonna have to try some now. Look at the colors. I'm gonna burn my mouth. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of The Hungry Soprano, who is shortly not going to be so hungry anymore. If you like it, please share, like, subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I want to see your photos. I want to see photos. Take it. Pinterest, Instagram, everywhere. Tag them with The Hungry Soprano so that I can see them and find them. Until next time. Bye. Yeah, that'll do.